Hi FlossTube, this is Barb with Lost and Floss. This is episode number 50 and today is Sunday, September 27th, 2020. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch with a few stories and probably enough rambling thrown in. So sit back and relax. Grab your stitching and hope to fill your time with some fun stuff. To begin with, well, hello everyone. I always forget to welcome new people and also thank my originals for sticking with me and coming back for more. So hello to all, and right now we're transitioning between summer and fall. This past week has just been glorious. I don't know that it's considered a second spring yet because we never really had a hard frost. So some of my flowers are just, they're spectacular. The petunias must really like this weather because they're just going nuts. At least the ones that the deer haven't eaten yet. But today it's all day long. It's kind of gloomy out, so I hope the lighting's going to be good enough. And it's going to be fall. But yesterday we were out riding around on the motorcycle, and the colors aren't quite prime, but just hit a couple patches which were really pretty. So, but in my last video, I showed some stitchy kindness, and when I saw the video, and a couple people alluded to this too, the camera wasn't focusing on it, and I was just going much too fast. I think it took me a long time to get set up, and I was losing sunlight and didn't have enough lights to augment it, and so I probably was hurrying through because I knew I had a lot of whips to show. So I think what I'm going to do is repeat that section. I was going to do it at the end, but I'm going to do it first just so that I don't hurry through it again. But I'll put right here a time where like the regular video starts again. So if you saw the charts well enough, you don't have to watch this part. But Stitchy Kindness from Rosie. She saw that I was stitching Homespun Elegance, Welcome to Merriness, which is a Santa. I had gotten the chart at, well, I'll show it to you. I had gotten my chart at, which is a Santa. I had gotten the chart at, well, I'll show it to you. I had gotten my chart at Stitchville. And she was so nice to share this with me again, which means since I already have one, that we will be sharing this one with you. In fact, I'm thinking let's give this away this episode. So if anyone is interested in stitching Wishing Thee Merriness by Homespun Elegance, please use Merriness somewhere in your comment. I love it. He's got like the real furry thread that you use for like his collar and his beard. So I've got a good start on mine, but I need to get back to it. So that's the first one. Then there's a really cute one. It's called, these are all Homespun Elegance, Welcomes Aplenty 5, and it has all the different seasons. Really cute. Then comes Sheep May Safely Graze, little sheep guy. The alphabet. That's another cute one. Home is where you hang your needlework. This is really cute with the house, or is it a barn house? Looks like a salt box house. I didn't know there were so many. Here's kind of a patriotic one. This is called Wishing Thee Freedom. Oops. Yeah. And then here comes a winter version, Wishing Thee Warmth. A little snowman. Getting a little bit of a glare there. And this one is really, really cute. Bountiful Autumn Bell Pull. And here's cute little spring eggs. I love the bunny. And I love the chick. Well, they're all really cute. So I will be stitching. For sure, I'll start with the chick this spring. Really, really cute. And then I don't know if this is like a freebie, so I'm going to show it really fast. But it's just the chart. Fall. Cat jumping over a pumpkin. And I think that's it. So thank you again, Rosie, and for anyone who's interested in wishing thee merriness, please comment with merriness in the comments. So we'll move right into, whip it up. So last video, which wasn't that long ago, I said I was going to start this trick or treat cat. It's by M Designs. And I might change the border, change the font, or just maybe put candy corn all the way around. I'm not sure yet. But this is being stitched on 36 count Da Vinci. And I think that's by Picture This Plus. But I hardly have a start on it at all. Just this collar. But I just wanted to show you guys this fabric. I think it's just gorgeous. It's hard for me to tell if I'm getting the fabric on there. So that's his collar, and then I just started a little bit on the contrast gray. I've really been trying to concentrate on my fall stuff this past week or so, just to get that knocked out and so I can get them fully finished. Because October's coming up really soon, and last year I got a lot of final finishing done. So if you guys are on Instagram and you get some finishing done next month in October, please use the hashtag, which I'll put here, hashtag FFOctober all together. So the O of FFO starts off October, so only one O at that part. So it was just kind of fun. I really got quite a few things finished last year, which was great because I don't know, it kind of cleared out a lot of stuff before Christmas, and I could concentrate on the Christmas stuff then. So over the weekend I was just kind of going through frames and stuff like that, because I've got a pile of things that I really need to clear out. And I found a couple frames, and then since it was so nice out, got out the spray paint. Some of them I wanted a different color, and usually I always was hand painting them, but I'm like, why? You know, you probably get better coverage with spray paint, and we had black in the basement, so used that and got some of that kind of stuff done. So hopefully maybe next video you'll be seeing some FFOs. So I've been working on the Scarlet House Pumpkins and Bittersweet. This is one of those that I really liked last year. And I got just a little start on it. I'm stitching it on a scrap. And by scrap, it truly is a scrap, because look at how much I have on the top. But I seem to be able to handle like no margins, and you know, I'm just doing probably a little pillow or something like that. I was going to attempt the 1/1 little box, and then I was stitching on this late last night, and I'm like, do I want to get this done, or do I want that 1/1? And my answer was I want to get it done. So I just decided, no, I'm gonna just do the, you know, I think I'm stitching 1/2 on 32 count. So it's kind of, you know, the coverage isn't real bold, but I kind of like that. Next, I've been stitching on Pumpkin Farm. It's a Blackbird design one. This is really, I love this chart the second I saw it. And the, I'm doing this 1/2, I think on 36 count Winter Brew. But when I first did the house, it's burnt orange, and I thought it looked really too bold. But the more I got the other stuff in, I love it. I think it's perfect. I'm having a little issue trying to decide. There's room in the little marquee thing here to put your initial, but some letters of the alphabet don't fit in there, so I can't do my last name initial. So I might do a B and then my last name initial down there, and then there was room for a couple more, and I thought, well, maybe I'll do the first letters of my grandkids. I don't know. What do you guys usually do? I'm kind of curious to hear what you do. I guess a lot of people do their ancestors or dedicated it to certain people, because it's like, do I want a million things with my initials? I don't know. That brings me to another question. Is this a thing? So, I think this is just a recent thing that has, well, maybe for the last year or so, which makes me think maybe it is cross stitch related. But do you guys get like little tiny pinholes in some of your shirts, like on your stomach area? And I don't know. I never had this happen to me until, I don't know, last year or two. And the first shirt it happened to, I thought, you know, usually it's like a knit shirt. And I thought, like, I don't know, maybe my husband put bleach in there and it like ate away the fabric. And I didn't really pay too much attention. But honestly, I think it's happened to at least six shirts. I know a couple I put like mending tape over on the inside just so, because they're very, very tiny. So no one else probably notices it. But I'm like, what the heck? So the thing is, lately I've been stitching with a tray on my lap and my light on the tray, and so I don't know if that's related to it, but I think even before I started having the tray on my lap, I was getting the holes in my shirts. So I don't know. I mean, years ago I worked on the 15th floor, and I would just for a break, I would like run down the steps, like going full speed. And sometimes I would go up the steps too, not as often. But I noticed like a couple times like my left elbow wore out, and then I realized because I was kind of half hanging onto the railing when I was running down, and I must have been like rubbing my elbow and causing holes. So I'm thinking maybe it could be. Otherwise, I don't know. I guess I saw Anna Stitch Roadie. She had some kind of pillow she put on her stomach, So maybe something like that, or maybe I could get one of those vests from the dentist, you know, that they put over you when you get x-rays. That should surely prevent any snags, but it's just weird. I don't know. So I kept meaning to bring it up because I'm like, I don't know, maybe somebody else has this issue. Okay, that's enough rambling. Let me know. New York Dreamer, autumn time. So last video I commented that I wasn't like thrilled with it, and someone left a comment that I should try orange around the border. And I had been kind of thinking of, you know, some other color, but I think that's the key because I'm getting there. I ripped out most of the Packer green. I still have one leaf in, but I like how the orange is setting off. It's really hard to see if I'm getting this in there. I think I am. So I think that's pumpkin pie, or I think that's what it is. So I think it's starting to become more what I pictured in my head. So thank you, whoever that was. I pulled out Home for Christmas Plum Street Samplers again. I'm stitching this on 32 count winter brew, 2/2 with the called for colors. I love this one. It's not as big as I was thinking it was going to be, but it's getting there. So I'm working on, I think I did pull out a little bit because I had done something wrong with one of the sides. So, but I'm getting there. I always feel like once you get the house in, then the rest of it is kind of just, you know, basic fill-in. And then Winter Rose Manor, I don't have the chart, but I worked on this just a little bit. The birds have their beaks now, so I know which way they're facing. And I did a couple of little flowers. But I've really been working primarily on fall, as I mentioned, and just want to clear that out of there. So, let's see. A lot of you wanted to see my old fall stuff, and having gotten away from stitching for a long time, I always like drool over what I see in people's videos, you know, when they have their house all decorated for fall and just the stitched pieces that they have within their possession of things they've done over the years. And I guess, you know, I feel bad because I don't have nearly what they have, but when I hold out my stuff, I'm like, in the 2 years, I kind of feel like I have a fair amount. Ooh, I forgot to show my FOs. We'll do that first so I don't forget. Oh, and here's one more little guy. I don't have the chart because I'm kind of taking various pieces, but this is going to be, this is a taken from a Prairie Schooler pattern or chart. So he has some leaves that come off the branches, and I'm just doing this on a scrap of fabric. So I want to make him into just a tiny little pillow, but I think he's looking cute. But the ones I am done with are the Scarlet House, Penny Pumpkin, and this one almost killed me, the 1/1. In the end, there were a few sections I just kind of ad-libbed. I'm like, you know, no one's gonna know as long as there's something there. And I have to say, the new light I have really is helpful with the 1/1, but I can't say I enjoy it. I give you guys credit. And the other one is also a Scarlet House. This one is, I believe, Autumn ABCs. I've stitched this on 32 count winter brew, I believe, and use the called for colors. And I don't have the paddle, so I have to figure out how I'm going to finish this, but I might just see if I have a frame it fits in. But I really like that. I think it's cute. So I have 2 completely done and a couple that are almost done. So I feel good that I should be moving on to, you know, finish up the Halloween, or at least get a good start on it, so next year I'll get to it. I didn't get a chance to start the Just Nan little box that I showed last video, but okay. So now we will show old FFOs. This is Little House Needleworks, and I couldn't find the frame. I don't know what I did with it, but I had like kind of a little wood, you know, like just the rustic board that I had it on, and then I just had like some bittersweet garland and some, oh, there's a, oh, and this is why I lose my needle all the time. I hope that's from this guy. But I had this on top. I think maybe I have a spring month done, and where I put the board, I don't know, but gotta find that. Okay, so this was one of my first finishing attempts. This just goes, you know, shows you how you progress as time goes on. So if you think you can't finish, like, look at how, I mean, I just made it look good on the front, and it looks pretty crappy on the back. But, so that guy goes on there, and then I put this on Velcro, which I wouldn't do now, because the pull of it really pulls on the fabric. And looking at this, like, my little border is really crooked. I could take this off and redo it. Maybe once I get all the rest of them done, I will. But this was one of my first tea and coffee dyed Monaco, a la Priscilla and Chelsea's tutorial. Very, very rustic, but I like it. And then the other thing I did a series of was Lizzie Kate, the monthly Stampits, I think they're called. And I had found this frame, so this isn't, I need to get, I was using packing tape last year, but I bought some magnets, so I need to put them on. But this was September, and the picture is underneath this plaid background. So that's September. And I love this plaid. I think it worked for like maybe 6 out of my 12 months. October, that scarecrow is just so darn cute. And then, so yeah, so this just comes out, and the picture is there. And then I can just, if I wanted a different background besides the plaid, I just popped it in. So, cute little turkey. So I got those guys done. And then this is Pumpkins for Sale. I think it's, is it Little House Needleworks? Well, you could find it very easily under Pumpkins for Sale. And, let's see. So I changed up the colors a little bit. And this is deep enough that I still don't have my fall stuff out. But I have a couple little wooden pumpkins that I just set along there. And then I just had this little bit of leafy berry garland that I had sitting on this corner. You kind of get the idea. But I think I used, Leanne and I did these together. And I think we use mostly Priscilla's conversion. And then maybe maybe switched out the blue, but I really like it. I like it with the paisley. I'm a paisley person. Then I did Bent Creek. I think it's Gobble Gobble or Fall ABCs, something like that. But it's definitely a Bent Creek. And that was kind of a fun, quick little stitch. I have this trivet I found at the thrift store, and so I did the 4 Lizzie Kate seasons, and I love this because I just kept the price tag and all. You just like can pull on these clamps, and then this is the trivet itself, and so I have the stitch on a piece of mat board, but then the ceramic part gives it substance. So I have the other 4 seasons as well, but I just think it's cute. Then this is another thrift store item. I found this. I don't know what it's even supposed to be, but I just thought, oh, that would make a perfect fall Halloween thing. And so I think this is inspired by a pumpkin in the Prairie Schooler one I did, and then I just added some stuff and put some vintage trim on. It's cute. I love the shape of this. I think that's really cool, and it's nice when you do a little vignette. It gives it more contrast. Then a lot of you have done the ABCs. I think this is Little House Needleworks too. But I had found when thrifting what I thought was this cute little cabinet. Well, come to find out that it actually is a cabinet to hold toilet paper. And so, like, when you open it, well, you can see there's a handle up here that I thought, oh, it's a cute little handle. Well, I guess you can put a box of Kleenex and then the Kleenex goes through there. But I just did my little toppers on a piece of mat board, and then I can shove the wire in and it just sits on top there. But this is a scene, one of the scenes that was supposed to be showing. And so I just put that behind the mat board too for a little additional support. But I had no idea. I thought it was this cute little cabinet I was buying, and here it's a toilet paper holder. But I painted a little crow and then have some leaves, and there's some acorns in there, whatever. Stuff that's kind of cute. Years and years and years ago, this is one of the first things I stitched. It's Prairie Schooler. It was the fall season. They've since come out with all the seasons together. I had bought this as a kit, and I stitched this one, and it's the fall one. I just thought that was so cute. And I forget what these things are called. I was thinking courting candles, but I don't know if that's right. I know someone will tell me again. When I first showed this last year or the year before, someone showed me. But I hope to do the other ones, and I just, it's something nostalgic. I like it because you can put things lower and it gives some height to a shelf or whatever. But I did stitch the Christmas one, and I used it as it's the winter one, and I used it as a gift already, but that was years ago as well, probably 30 years ago, when I was into stitching for, a couple of years. So anyways, I love that one. And then another Blackbird design, Midnight Ride. This is a really cute chart. So I had found this box at the thrift store, and it was, you know, the orange and black. I'm like, that would be perfect, but the lid didn't really, the stitch was bigger than the lid. And so what I ended up doing was I kind of, I don't know if you can see, but I kind of built up my own lid to go around. So the real lid is inside, and then I did another piece of mat board that I did, like I ripped some gingham and then I ruffled it and have some trim. But so it fits on really tight and not going anywhere, and I could use the box. And I used someone's color conversion. I can't remember who, but I put my initials in the orange, and I just love this guy. I think he's really cute. So that's kind of a fun one to have. Let's see. So I always, you know, like I go to a thrift store for my frames, so very few of them have I bought at full price. I'm not really sure what this is. I'm thinking maybe it was a Lizzie Kate. But just a quick stitch. I think I used all the called for colors, and fits in this frame nicely. Has a stand so I can stand it up amongst other things, which I really like. And then I think this is another Bench Creek. Maybe Harvest. And I like it. It was a quick, fun stitch. And any of these, I might not be able to get you the name right away, but if you can't discover them on your own, let me know and I'll try to find them for you. I think this is like Autumn Sampler or something like that. It's by Blue Ribbon Design. And I think you can get these on her website. But this is stitched on 28 or 32 count R&R Espresso. And this is the one I had it. I was stitching 2/2, and then Leanne showed a piece that was 1/2 on the same count, and I just loved the airiness of it, and I'm like, why did I do that? So I ripped it all out, and I can't believe I did that now, but I liked it so much better. I just found this it's a frame for an album, and just kind of antiqued it and used kind of a, you know, like a green that would blend with a green wash, I guess, more than anything. But I like that one. So that one's done. And then we move on to, oh, this is let's see, Cinnamon Stars, which a lot of you have stitched. And I think this is on 32 count Stormy Night or something like that. I saw someone's on Instagram and I just loved it. So I asked what fabric, and I'm like, oh, that's exactly how I want to do mine. I think I subbed out, what part was it? Was it the fence color? Might have been the fence color, just it didn't show up well enough. I think that's what it was. But other than that, mostly called for colors. And this was a frame. I saw someone else had this frame or something similar they had gotten at Hobby Lobby. And so I went with my stitch piece and just kept like holding it up to these things. But it's mounted just in front. And you can see like my various threads, but I think there was a picture or something that showed through. but I really like that one. And then this is another piece, one of my first pieces I did. It's a Prairie Schooler Autumn Leaves. And I saw someone else had stitched this and put the pumpkin in the center, and I really like that. So I stitched this on 32 count tea and coffee dyed Monaco, and I just love it. Put it in a thrift store frame that I think I antiqued it. Well, I'm looking at the back, and that's usually where I experiment. And I must have tried the green, not like the green, so then just antiqued. I think it was beige to start. Maybe, I don't know. You know, sometimes I'll chalk paint underneath. And a lot of times I might, you know, try a couple different colors until it's like, oh yeah, that's the one. And then, oh my, for those of you who don't know this story, a lot of people from the beginning knew that I was stitching a chart called Pumpkin Patch, and it was from a just cross stitch magazine, I think 1989 or something like that. And I had it almost, like what I thought was almost done, but there was a giant cat going up the tree, and I don't think I liked the scale of the cat, and so I stopped, and then like looked at it again, and when I got back into cross stitching, I'm like, I just need to get this done, because I had the quilt part done, and it was a lot of work. So one video, Leanne started ripping out the cat for me, or I might have never had the courage to do it. So anyways, this is Pumpkin Patch, and I know there's people stitching it now. It really is cute. I love that little scarecrow. But I just added some leaves over where the cat would have been, and there are a couple other little things I changed. But when I finally finished it, then I lost it for a while, and honestly, it was gone for a good couple weeks. And there was, we had some fun with it. Leanne put a wanted poster on a milk jug. I sat down to record it. I'm like, what? Why does she have milk on the table? And then I look at this sign. That was funny. You know, always something we were laughing about. But this was another one. I just got a piece from Hobby Lobby, and then I actually used an old pair of blue jeans behind here. I thought it was perfect with the scarecrow having, you know, blue jean overalls on, and then I just used a little jute to fill in, just kept it really, really rustic, but this piece holds so many memories and probably is my all-time favorite. And considering, you know, from start to finish, I was like 30 years old or close, I don't know, somewhere around then. It's near and dear to my heart. So glad it's finally finished. And the only whips I have now are, I mean, I have a lot, but they're all probably 2 or less years old. So I feel like, you know, it's never the kind of stuff where, oh, will I ever finish this? Because it's, you know, not your taste, or that's why I was just glad Pumpkin Patch was something that I still thought was cute. And yeah, so let's see, what else? Oh, so we need to talk about a winner for Vinnie Von Fang. So the person gets the chart for Vinnie, the beautiful green fabric, and a stitched up Betty who has all the extras little added onto her. And this was so graciously donated to the channel by Jan, whose mother stitched Betty, and originally it was a gift to Leanne, and with the thought Leanne would stitch Vinnie, but I have my own set, and so you guys are gonna be the lucky recipient. So let's pause for a second, and I'm going to do the generator, and we'll let you know the name. Hold on. Okay, I'm back, and the lucky winner is Diane Knack. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce your last name, Diane. I had asked if you had a losing it moment, losing it as in laughter, that you should comment. Well, some of them were so hysterical. I just was laughing out loud when I was reading them. Just, you know, if you want to go back to video 49 and read through the comments, there were some really, really funny ones. So thank you all for commenting. But Diane, if you could please get in touch with me either at lostandfloss2, the number 2, at gmail.com, or private message me on Instagram at lostandfloss2. And send me your address. I'll get that out to you as soon as possible. And then don't forget about, if you're interested in the merriness chart, comment on that as well. So I promised to tell my story, and this was not something I'm proud of, but it just kind of happened. So, this was a couple of years ago. One of my friend's mothers had passed away, and she was well into her 90s and had been sick for a long time, and it was not unexpected. But I went with a couple of my women friends to the service, which was at one of those, you know, like all-in-one type places. So they have the chairs lined up, and we're sitting together, and the service starts, and she had been a veteran or something, and maybe in World War II. And so these women from the group, this auxiliary group, processioned in, and, you know, I think they had white shirts and navy pants and carrying red flowers, and very, very solemn with this music, and then the music would stop and they would recite some things, or, you know, I can't even remember those details, but we're sitting there, and it's at least, I don't know, 10 minutes into the service, and, you know, I'm just, as my mind does, I'm like looking at things as it's going on, and all of a sudden, right in front of me, there's a larger, I don't know, he's probably like in his 30s, but he was a large man. And I looked down, and we're on like folding chairs. And it still makes me laugh. I looked down, and his butt crack was showing above his pants and below his t-shirt, like this much. And I was just like, oh my gosh, how did I not notice that before? Like, it just, I just lost it. So then, and I'm like trying to rein it in. I'm not laughing out loud, but my two friends on either side of me realize I'm laughing. Well, they thought it was because of, in this service, the woman with the music, these were all older women, the one had a tape recorder around her neck, and that's where the music was coming from, and she would start and stop it. But I hadn't even noticed that. All I was paying attention to was the guy in front of me. Well, I had just about reined it back in. I mean, and I was like biting the sides of my cheek. I was just beyond. And I just about reined it back in, and then one of them starts laughing again. And I just lost it. I was just like, thank goodness we were maybe like 5/8 the way back. So, you know, there weren't like a ton of people behind us. And the other saving grace was there was a door behind. And so I didn't have to like walk to the front of the service. And so I'm like, when I knew that there was going to be no stopping the outburst, I did leave. And I'm sure, like, my shoulders were shaking, but maybe people thought I was sobbing, but I had never even met the woman. Not that I didn't feel bad for my friend, but it was more like I was there for her support. So I go in the bathroom, and I'm just like, I am laughing out loud to the point where I'm just crying. And it's not like it's even that funny, but it was just, I think the fact that I hadn't noticed it, like, when I first sat down. So finally, I'm like, okay, you know, I got myself together. I'm like, you know, wipe my eyes of tears, and I'm like, I cannot go back in there because I don't know if it's going to start all over again. So the funeral home lady, like, she's thinking I had an emotional, like, moment, and so she keeps like trying to persuade me to go back in, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna watch from this doorway. And you know, like, she must have tried, I don't know, 6 times, and I'm like, no, I'm really fine right here, because I thought, I just didn't know if it was going to start all over again. But anyway, so that is one of my losing it moments. There have definitely been others, but that was probably the one that, if I could have reined it in, I would have, just because you're at such a solemn event. And I don't know, the story came out, and my friend whose mother it was thought it was hysterical. So I'm like, well, I'm glad, you know. And the more I thought about it, it's like, well, I guess I'd rather have people laughing at my funeral than, you know, like, being beside themselves. It's a sign of a good life, right? So, but, okay, so, that's about it for my story. As I mentioned, there's some fun ones that people had, so go back and read some of them, because it's like, we all need things to keep us, you know, on the happy path right now. This past week, I've just been out enjoying the weather, and, you know, I'm looking out at the window, and it's drizzly and gloomy, and obviously the t-shirts are put away. But, you know, we're probably going to head up to the cabin and see some of the colors probably are in full peak there. So that's always glorious in the Midwest. Such a pretty time. And I don't know, our son was home, and so that was nice. We did lots of outside visiting. We went to stop at my sister's, his godmother, so we stopped at her house for a patio visit, and then we went to see my mom and did a window visit there, and from there we went to our daughter's house and had a birthday celebration for me, and got rid of another tub of stuff from our basement. So both kids went home with stuff, or got stuff this weekend. So that's always good, because, you know, just being in one house so many years, we've accumulated. So it's kind of been my mission to clean out, and, you know, they both have houses, so they can have their own stuff, and if they want to get rid of it, they will. But now I'm really rambling. So hope you all are doing well, and I'm going to keep on with my fall stitching and get back to that stocking next, so I get that wrapped up. So don't worry, Karen, it's almost going to be done. So I hope you're all hanging in there and continue to fill the world with love. Thanks so much for watching.